Hello, welcome back. I just got out of the shower. It's been a crazy, busy couple of weeks with work and just kind of in general, I've kind of been feeling a little anxiety. My husband has sort of been feeling a little anxiety, him a little more than me, I think, because he's been fully working from home. And I think that this quarantine, the whole thing just kind of like caught up with us all at once. I think it's more just being cooped up inside and like not really being able to have what used to be our usual routine of like going places, doing things, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so we decided to start walking to kind of get out. I mean, to be healthy also, but just to get out of the house and just get moving. And yeah, so we've been walking about 6 miles each day when when the weather permits, it's not raining, or he isn't working late, or, when we don't have stuff going on. And we've been walking around lakes by the university here, so it's fun. And lately I feel like I've been thinking about self-care a lot, and like what that really means. And I think ultimately it means something different for everyone, and I think that's okay. I feel like lots of people talk about self-care and they talk about like doing the work, and like I just feel like I hear doing the work a lot. Ultimately, I don't feel like it's a super fair statement because the work is different for everyone. And I feel like if that means you need to be a little selfish and like take care of yourself and cancel other plans or stay in or deal with your own things in your own way, that's fine. I think retail therapy totally is self-care. I think people would argue with me about that, and honestly I don't care, because it is like, even if it's temporary, it makes you feel better in the moment. And I think that's totally fine ultimately. Anyway, so that was my fun little ramble, which is not characteristic of me. I don't typically like to vent or share things like that, really personal things. But it kind of brought me to the deck that I have today, which was sort of a little retail therapy for me during all of this. On top of that, it was definitely on my list of decks that I needed to complete a collection. But it is the Traveler's Tarot. Very little, 2-piece box. It's the mini version of the blue box, and it's just like amazing. It comes in this tiny little 2-piece box, exactly like the full-size one. It has a little white book, exactly like, I mean, as far as I can tell, it's the exact little white book from the big one. It's just little. And then it has extra cards, of course. But it has literally everything exactly like the big one. So I'm not going to really like super go through all of these. Of course. Well, if that's not typical, I don't know what is. Come on, come on. Okay, well, don't hate on me, but You'll just have to trust that it is in fact a Blushing Fool. The cards are in order because I put them all in order as soon as I got them. But everything about it is exactly like the big one. It's just little. The cardstock is phenomenal. Oh, I think that's a great... Ooh, I think that might be the best I've been able to show how thick the cardstock is on any deck ever. So, fairly thick. It feels thick because the cards are small, so it automatically is going to feel a little thicker just because they're smaller cards. The backs are the standard plaid. Come on. It's so hard to get it to focus on stuff like that. I don't know if you can tell, but there is like no lamination. I mean, I suppose there technically is, just because, you know, I don't know, but they don't feel like there's any lamination at all. And I was really fortunate that it doesn't look like it's really been used at all, I don't think. It's not really bowed or anything like that. You can kind of see how they've got like little shadows. It looks like shadows or stripes. That is just where the plaid is. And that happens because essentially, instead of all of the backs being like printed on that way, they're cut out of a sheet. So every single card back is not exactly the same. I mean, they're very close, but they're not exactly the same. And it causes that effect on the side. If you see like the current editions of this, it's just like boop, 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 like straight lines. You can totally see it. And I guess that's the way that it's printed now. But, yeah, so very exciting. I didn't really know that this existed. This is just like the cutest. So the only thing that is different between this and the standard version, because I think even like the coloration on this, on the, you know, on the world card on the front, is the same. The only thing that's different is it says Ryder and Company, 3 Fitzroy Square, London, W1, but it doesn't have in association with Waddington's like the full-size box. Other than that, literally the entire deck is identical. No difference at all. Except it's mini, and I'm so glad that I got it. And I will say I don't see a ton of them out and about, but I do know in the last 6 months or a year, I know of at least 1, 2, 3, 4, including me, that I know people have gotten. So they're around. You just kind of have to keep your eye out and look. It's called the Traveler's Tarot, but it's spelled like the British or the European, I guess British, the way that they would spell it, with 2 L's instead of 1 like we would in the US. Unless I'm insane and we spell it with 2 L's too. But it doesn't look right to me. Who knows? Leave a comment. Let me know. Am I totally wrong? Am I insane? Like, what is the deal? Yeah, so anyway, that's my fun little find for August so far. I am doing a no-buy month for August, but there are a few decks that are not included in that, and this was one of them. obviously, well, not obviously to you all maybe, but obviously to me, yellow box RWS are also not included in that. So, because I am collecting them, so if the right one pops up, I would buy it. But other than that, and a very, very small selection of rare, hard to find decks, I'm trying not to buy anything in August. So, that's my fun little emotional after shower, sitting on my couch, little sharing. Hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. I'm sure I'll be back this week sometime. Maybe I'll do a live or something like that. Anyway, hope everyone's doing good. Thanks.